Hey guys, Maniac here. I'm here with some more Maniac reviews. Today for Maniac reviews, I'm going to be reviewing Divergent, aka the third Hunger Games movie, featuring white girls in Starbucks. Let's get to the review. Alright, so Divergent, first things I want to mention is this is another movie based off of a book. This is also a movie that I saw at a midnight premiere with a friend who had read some of the book and was kind of interested in the movie, so we went to go see it. So, without further ado, let's get on to characters / actors that mattered in this movie. Alright, so characters. Let's start off by saying the actors. We have Shailene Woodley, Thea James, and Kate Winslet. Shailene Woodley is Triss, aka Beatrice. She is the Divergent girl, the main character of this whole thing. Thea James is the supporting actor of this movie. And as the villain, we have Kate Winslet as Gina Matthews. They didn't really say her name that much. So yeah, as far as acting and character development goes, the character development in this movie was very good. I have to get more into that in negative and positives because the character development was good, but not in the best way it could have been. And the acting was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just good, you know. So, let's get on to that storyline. Alright, so the storyline of this movie is in a world based on 5 factions that are these 5 factions are based on virtues. There are things in the system called divergence. Divergents are people that can be all 5, basically do not fit into one group. And one day, Beatrice, who is a part of one of the 5 factions, is on her picking day. She finds out she is divergent. Because of that, she goes to join a different faction about basically the police of this world. You never really get told about where you are, what time this is. You just kind of get thrown into this place and you go from there. So yeah, as far as storyline goes, storyline to me felt a lot like Hunger Games. You know, you kind of get these teenage kids, and then you take them away from their parents, and they have to go to these different factions, work on different things. Not always. The one faction that they focus on mainly is kind of the way that it makes me think of Hunger Games, because that one's more kind of like beat up your fellow teammates. You know, it's kind of like a training place. But yeah. So, let's get on to negatives and positives of this movie. Alright, so negatives and positives. Let's start off with the positives for this movie. The storyline, I kind of like the storyline. You know, the storyline was kind of cool. And it had some very good character development. It actually kind of, unlike some of the movies recently that's been going on, you didn't really kind of get immersed more with the characters. So it was kind of like, it kind of made you like care for the characters, I guess, a bit more than some of the other movies like RoboCop, I Frankenstein. Sorry, just had a flashback to Vietnam during RoboCop and I Frankenstein, horrible times. So yeah, as far as acting goes, like I kind of said already, it was good. Nothing really too outstanding. And as far as I know, compared to the book, as a book adaptation, it was pretty good, pretty close. Now, we're going to get into the negatives here, because with the character development came one of the worst things, and that was padding. The movie seemed very long and drawn out. You actually didn't get to the core of what was supposed to be going on like kind of what the movie was based around and what the main conflict was until the very end, until the last 30 minutes of the movie. Now the other side of this is this movie's probably going to do very well. This book, it's a very popular book, and I know from going to the Midnight Experience that it was funny because me and my friend walk in. The first thing we see is, we get there pretty early, so we get our food and stuff, and we're about to go up, and they're like, oh no, Need for Speed's playing. I'm like, brr, brr, Need for Speed, oh god, Satan! But, so we're just waiting there, we're waiting kind of in like the main lobby of this, in the movie theater that we go to, and we just start seeing people come in for the movie. And we counted approximately out of about the 100 people that were there, about half of them were white, had Starbucks in their hand, and had leggings on. And they were all girls, of course. All teenage girls, and me and my friend were just like, as they started coming in, we were just kind of sitting there going, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was our way of entertaining ourselves before we could get into the movie, was counting each and every one of these white girls that walked into this theater. So I warn you, if you go see this movie, prepare yourself for white girls, Starbucks, and leggings. And teenage girls. Yeah. So, I don't know if that was just a negative, that was just kind of a funny thing that we noticed at the movie. Yeah, as far as any other negatives go, like I said, it was very drawn out, and because of that, you kind of got to the main conflict, and you're just like, wait, so this is what this movie's been? Like, there was a point where I didn't know what to expect of this movie. I was kind of expecting Hunger Games, and that was kind of what was getting fed to me. And then kind of like it was kind of weird because the main thing was just like it was just kind of like they're thinking that they have an underground the plot that they're going to take over and kill all the Divergents. Duh! And as soon as that happened, it's like the next minute after, everybody's like everything's going batshit crazy, and you're just kind of left sitting there going, well, that escalated quickly. Like, it goes kind of from like, look at these characters, they're kind of, you're getting very, very small hints throughout the movie that are kind of signifying to what's going on and who the bad guy is. You don't even know who the bad guy is until like the very last scene. You're just like, oh, that makes sense. It's, like I said, very long and drawn out, a lot of padding, and because of that, you kind of, the beginning draws you in, and then at the end, you're just tired, and you don't want to be at this movie anymore. You're just like, alright, this should have ended about 30-40 minutes ago. Waiting. It's like too long and drawn out, which I hate to see with movies. Now, I know that they did, again, it's one of those where they tried to give as much justice to the book as possible, but because of that, it didn't turn out as well. There are certain balances between movie and book, like the book adaptation and the actual book that directors and producers try to do. And Hunger Games got it right, and they got it right with Catching Fire as well. But it seems like any other book adaptation movie that tries to do that, just they fumble and fall. And because of that, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.9 just because it's kind of an okay movie, but it's so long and drawn out, and it kind of gets boring after a while, and it becomes, to me, very repetitive. So therefore, I give this a 3.9 with the rating. And with that, I guess if you're a fan of the book, you might enjoy it. But if not, if you're just kind of looking, I don't know. I don't want to say it was Superman because Man of Steel was pretty bad. Wolverine was pretty bad. As far as movies been going, it's kind of like a Pacific Rim. No, Pacific Rim was really good. It's just kind of it's like a Hunger Games. Really, it feels a lot like the Hunger Games, but on a longer, much drawn out, more and somewhat boring scale. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Next week is either going to be Noah or Sabotage, because I think Sabotage comes out next week, and I remember seeing that and being like, Arnold Schwarzenegger. As soon as that movie comes out, I'm seeing it. And I think it is next week, so if it is, I will be going and seeing that. But if it's not coming out next week, then it'll be Noah. And yeah, so I thank you guys for watching. Don't subscribe, favorite, like, and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys next time, whatever I make. He's got a dragon. Peace out. Boopity boop boop.